Good afternoon, Aquarius, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Will's Cartomancy Tarot. What I like to do is just to go on and give you your next step reading, as you've seen me actually the readings that I've been posting for the other signs here. And it's basically, ladies and gentlemen, a romantic reading that that would really kind of steer you along in your decision making process, particularly when you're kind of dealing with a conflict type riddle relationship. Okay? So, with this spread, it certainly is going to kind of better facilitate your decision making process and also show you, ladies and gentlemen, what might be the best options for you as you attempt to move forward, in your next step here. Okay? I've decided to go on and use the after tarot deck here as already shuffled and illustrated, along with a few other additional oracle cards to give you a bit more pertinent advice. Okay, and if this reading resonates with you guys as we're going through it, I would like you to go on and like and share. Okay, I certainly like to hear your comments, and keep in mind, remember to subscribe. Okay, so I'm just going to go on and point out a few general observations or a few things, just by looking at the layout here, to just see what information we can glean prior to getting started. Okay, you see here that you have a predominance here of major, arcania cards here. So destiny seems to be at play with you guys, and you might want to just take your hands off the situation, because the more you push, the harder it's going to get. You're kind of being forced. These cards are kind of asking you to recognize them. Okay, I'm feeling in, with as it relates to your pertains to your relationship, I'm seeing that it seems that communication has been very problematic, and some of you may have gotten a bit bored, or maybe lack, your passion or drive or even direction in this relationship. It seems also I'm feeling somewhat unstable, maybe one of you may be in fact unemployed, or you may be suffering from just basically material type issues or property issues. Okay, and these issues potentially might be even impacting your situation. Okay, I'm also getting a strong sense that there appears to be a lack of control and leadership in your situation, and it looks like to me that for some of you, it looks like that something legal is going on, could even be connected with some of you guys with the federal law. Okay, I'm also getting a sense here that it looks like um, a major timing conjunction looks to me to have occurred here, because you have this Emperor card falling directly before that Two of Cups card. So it seems that this Emperor, has a very bossy type personality, and this card shows some type of communication occurred with you in some type of romantic connection, perhaps maybe 2 weeks ago, that was kind of on a highly emotional type level that I'm kind of getting here. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, let's go on and dive right in deeply into your reading. Okay, and let's look at the card falling to the bottom of the deck here. We have Judgment. Okay, so Judgment refers to a Scorpio, and Pluto governs that card. So this card is all about rebirth, renewal, a metamorphosis, a wake up type call, and even resolutions. Okay, and also facing a very significant decision. Okay, so it kind of shows a need to kind of let go of the past hurts, ladies and gentlemen, and to stop judging one another. Okay, and I'm feeling that some of you, you're going to contemplate whether really you want the relationship to continue, and it seems like many of you will in fact continue the relationship, because the persons, I'm seeing more than one person here for you guys. They appear to be very karmic, or like a soulmate type person to you, and because this card means also reconciliation and redemption. Okay, and after having gone through a bit of a rough patch here that I see that many of you may have gone through, but you're going to have trouble, I'm feeling, really making a decision. But you're going to have to make a decision, I'm feeling, and many of you might be a bit put off by you know one of your lovers treatment of you and how they kind of conduct him or herself. you know? And for many of you, you might even discover, I'm kind of feeling, or you may have already discovered a secret or something that has occurred with your lover. And this card is kind of showing the kind of, because you see these people being naked here, they're pure. I mean, the person, well, the people here. So this card is also asking for forgiveness, you know? Alternatively, I feel that, if any of you here are in fact looking for a new lover, this card is kind of asking you to really take your time, and maybe change the way that you do things to kind of attract more love, because it is indeed the second chance card. So it looks like many of you are going to be reconciling, reconnecting, probably with someone that you've been having problems with in some way. I'm kind of getting. Okay, let's look at your current situation here. You have justice. Okay, and that connects with a Libra. And of course, this card is all about fairness and truth and balance, as well as, ladies and gentlemen, an apology. So for some of you, particularly, I'm feeling like, as I've already indicated, if you're kind of going through a divorce with some of you or something connected legal, this card kind of shows an amicable type settlement for you guys. Or conversely, for those of you who aren't going through that, I feel that either you or a lover, we kind of want to kind of apologize. I'm feeling that you yourself feel that you've acted fairly, or your lover can feel this way, or either you or your lover, I'm feeling one of you really has to change up a bit. I'm feeling, and change the way that you're doing things here. Because some of you might even want to kind of move here too, that I'm kind of feeling too with this card. And it looks like in your situation, someone appears to be real judgmental here. So this card is kind of urging you to strive for fairness, particularly if this is you. And some of you might even be contemplating marrying someone, I'm feeling here, because you have justice here when you combine that with the Two of Cups there. Okay? So let's move on to try to give you some more advice in terms of, where your focus should lie here. But let's start off by looking at, things that are not important, which means that if you really place your focus towards in this direction, you're not going to get what you want out of the situation here. So we have the Wheel of Fortune card. So now is certainly not the time for you, ladies and gentlemen, to feel powerless, or even to kind of question the direction that your life is being led, or even resist change, or to stay stuck, ladies and gentlemen, in the past, even to feel like, like you're a loser in some way. Because there are never any losers, you learn your lessons and you just move on. But let's take a peek and just see exactly what is important here for you guys, and how I think if you consider taking this advice, then it would help you a lot in your situation. We have the Emperor. So that shows, ladies and gentlemen, that you may need to search yourself a bit more, because that card is also connected with Aries, and it shows leadership in your situation. It shows strength and fearlessness and even rationality. So I feel that you might need to kind of be more dominant than what you've been accustomed to being, and finding a new approach would make things better here. So let's see where your next step is really it's leading you to. We have the Two of Cups. A very good card, a soulmate type card here. You see that in the image, you're kind of reconnecting, and this card is all about harmony and committing, to a relationship and connecting, even with new loves. But I'm getting the indication that you guys have to make a decision between one or more partners here, And I see you two working on a relationship. But again, it all boils down to you're making a decision. So let's examine these few oracle cards that I've decided to include here. We have the Deception card. So it seems that whomever you're dealing with might be having a hard time, ladies and gentlemen, really expressing their true emotions to you. Or it could be vice versa. So this card is kind of asking you perhaps to just unleash this mask that you've been wearing, and fully express yourself. Okay? And with some things in life, yes, it's painful to sometimes open your heart out to people, but this is what you really need to do, because you can't expect a lover to fulfill your needs if he or she doesn't know exactly what you want. And this is vice versa. It could be your lover that's kind of doing this, or your lover, if you guys have been kind of separating and going through things, and this person has been cheating on you, they were not satisfied with this other person, okay? They still think about you a lot. So let's move on and just look at this ant card or ant symbol here. So that kind of shows that you kind of feel is a feeling of kind of your life, like you're kind of aimlessly rambling through life and you're not really getting anywhere. That's what this feeling is with this card. So this card is kind of asking you that, you haven't really fallen into a rut. What you need to do is just to focus on the strength that this card brings to you to help you move ahead. Okay? And then you have this chalice card there, that chalice symbol there. And you see how usually chalices are usually filled with some type of a liquid or watery type fluid or something. But one of the things about water, ladies and gentlemen, it has no certain type of shape. It's constantly changing. So likewise, your emotions change like that too. So what this card is kind of asking you is to kind of focus on what it is that you want and kind of really do the things that you need to do in order to move your relationship forward. Okay, so Aquarius, this is what I have for you. I certainly hope that this reading offers food for thought. I look forward to hearing your comments. And if you have any questions about this video or any other, you can definitely also contact me on wiseo.com. And the information will be provided in the instruction box. Okay, so be sure to subscribe and like and share. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.